Thank you, General. I again would like to reiterate that we're talking propane, and propane is containerized gas. We're not talking the natural gas which comes from the pipeline directly to residential or commercial or industrial facilities. But we are challenged by this, and we're challenged by putting out a measured message, a message that does not cause panic, a message that raises the issue to the awareness level that it should. We're also challenged in the Commonwealth by Hurricane Earl. And we know that if Hurricane Earl hits in the manner that we believe it may, that there will be long periods of time in certain areas of the state where power may be cut and where people will need to turn to alternative cooking methods for several days. Many times people turn to the use of propane and the use of barbecue grills and other alternative methods. So as a result, today I have I've met with, or discussed with, I should say, as the Attorney General has, the Executive Board of the State Fire Chiefs Association so that they are fully briefed, and I have sent an advisory within the last hour to all fire chiefs in the state, outlining the issue at hand, outlining the mitigation factors and strategies that we have put in place. We are working together as a fire service to develop and continue to manage the immediate, short-term, and long-range approaches to this issue. In addition, we have reason to believe that deliveries from the Westfield facility extended beyond the borders of Massachusetts, and that deliveries have gone to each of the 6 New England states and New York. As a result, we conferenced this afternoon with my fellow fire marshals from New England to give them information on what we know and to suggest and work with them on certain strategies so that they are prepared to deal with the consumers within their states. What we need to send forward is a message that we do not hope that people will not overburden our emergency responders. We're going to come into a tough 24, 48-hour period. Fire service is going to be severely challenged due to the storm. There is no easy way that your fire departments in your communities could get to each and every installation and have the type of equipment that could verify whether there is a leaky propane cylinder. However, with that being said, as always, if people feel that there is an immediate problem, a situation has developed where they feel that they are at risk, then it is very clear that individuals should call 911. But again, if there is no leak in the propane cylinder, then the fact that there is no odorant does not affect the use of that propane. And I reiterate that the lack of odorant does not increase the risk of a leak occurring. We ask the public to use common sense and first find out if their propane was affected. Contact your local distributors and see if the distributor is affected. And again, you'll hear from the industry who's helping us get that message out. Exercise caution. Fortunately, we're not in our heating system right now. However, the impending storm, as I said, could cause some additional safety risk. If you use propane piped into your house or business for heating or cooking, then there is nothing that I suggest you do to determine if there is a leak. But there is a lot that you can do to safely use propane and take that extra caution. Do not smoke indoors or anywhere near propane-fed appliances. If you have a power outage, use flashlights and battery-operated candles instead of candles around propane appliances. Do not use fireplaces or wood stoves as alternative heating sources within close proximity to propane appliances. You can consider purchasing a gas detector. They cost about $60 and are available at big box stores. Very important, I reiterate, do not attempt to inspect the system yourself. That could create a leak that previously doesn't exist. Work with your local gas company. The distribution system will work to come and check the facilities as time goes on. If you have an LP gas grill tank, and most of us do, and again, because of the storm, many of us will be using it over this holiday weekend. You can make sure that the connections are tight. Use them outdoors only. Even if we didn't have this issue before us, I'd be standing before the public today because of the impending storm and saying the same. Make sure the connections are tight. use outdoors. Never bring a propane grill inside. Keep that 10 feet away from a building. Do not use on balconies above a first floor. It is illegal in Massachusetts to have a propane grill above the first floor. And in this case, I would ask you to perform a leak test. And the way that a leak test is performed is to spray the hose and the connections with a soapy liquid solution. Bubbles indicate a potential leak. So you put the soapy material around each one of those connections, and if you don't see bubbling, then you can, at that point, there's a good assumption that there is no leak to the system itself. I conclude with this. Please use good judgment, exercise the correct level of caution and concern, get information, contact your distributor. Do not cause problems that don't exist by attempting to inspect your own system. Call the professionals, and as always, if you feel there is a serious problem, call 911. Thank you.
Thank you. The advice, of course, around using propane is good advice no matter what. We just stress that in these circumstances, we recommend that you really take caution, that you should anyway. And we are continuing to work through our Consumer Protection Division here, our Public Protection Bureau, around this as a consumer product safety issue. It's not the first time this has happened. There have been other instances in the country where this kind of distribution has occurred, and we believe that as we alert the public to be cautious, we will work with and give you information both to keep safe in the short run, but to develop a long-term plan for identifying this and trying to make sure that it does not happen again. It has been a pleasure to work with Joe Rose in the last several hours. It seems like longer, but we've been working really hard to try and get on top of this and get the appropriate information out. And he's been extremely helpful as the president of the Propane Gas Association of New England, and he and his members are working with us, but also with the public, and he's going to give you some information for people who have questions, who want to get in touch for assistance. Thanks. Joe.
Thanks, General. The Propane Gas Association has the #1 priority of public safety. The product that we sell is very useful, but obviously the nature of that use also makes it require the need for caution when it's being used. There are 3 steps that I would really want to mention. First and foremost, while today all the facilities in Massachusetts have been inspected, facilities in other states started to be inspected, and they will all be completely inspected before any trucks roll tomorrow morning. That provides that snapshot in time in the other states as well. During the day tomorrow, all of the dispensing tanks that refill barbecue cylinders will be inspected to make sure, again, that the gas in those tanks is correctly odorized. And thirdly, our members, and we have 560 members throughout the 6-state region, will start to inspect and test consumer tanks, prioritizing on the ones, as the Marshal said earlier, that were newly installed or had run out of gas for some reason. The last thing is that in order for consumers who have questions and concerns and want information, we have a website. It's pgane.org, and we've set up a toll-free number, 888-445-1075. And if you have questions, that's the Office of the Propane Gas Association of New England. Those calls will all be forwarded to me, and I will respond to your call and answer your question. Our industries work diligently with the Marshal's office, with the Attorney General's office. We're trying to get our arms around this problem and offer solutions so that our customers are safe and comfortable using our propane gas. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions? Anyone?